All right, we are back on the perfume review grind. Hello and welcome to Perfumer Reviews. This is the series where I review some of your favorite fragrances and I look at it from a little bit of like a perfumery perspective. Today we're doing one of my personal favorite fragrances. I think I ranked it like maybe 6th in my last top 10 ranking video. Anyway, today we have Boulder Freak from Byredo. Now, if you haven't tried this fragrance, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what to expect. And if you have tried it, you're just gonna get some of my thoughts around it. First of all, let's talk fragrance notes. I have taken these notes from Mecca, I think. I don't know, I scripted this a while ago. But anyway, we're looking at bergamot, African marigold, buchu? I don't know what that is. This is what it is. I'm not quite sure. Cyclamen, also, this is what it is, not quite sure myself. Vetiver and Moroccan cedarwood. So that would be cedarwood Atlas. We've got cedarwood Virginia, cedarwood Atlas. Those are the main two types of cedarwood. This would be cedarwood Atlas. Reason being, Atlas Mountains in Morocco. I have also in this fragrance seen blackcurrant described a lot. However, it isn't listed in the official notes, but I've seen a lot of people mention that it is in there. So first off, let's talk the scent journey. Now, the first thing that really pops out to me in this is the fruitiness and the citrus. This is a fairly consistent fragrance. As it progresses, the fruitiness does come off a little bit and it does become a little bit more floral. But to me, the best way I can describe it is it brings out this like really unique musky scent, which is slightly dry, but also sweet. I would say it's also like a little bit animalic as well. It reminds me of something that feels familiar, but I can't like quite put my finger on it. There's a slight dry, like powdery or papery kind of component in there, which I would probably attribute to the violet note that has been described in here. It is also pretty neutral on its sillage and projection. It's not the closest scent ever, but it isn't gonna be like too invading or like overwhelming. To me, I think it finds a really, really nice balance between the two. This fragrance has a really, really nice transition through like the first hour or so. And after that, you do get kind of this like clean, sweet, musky scent with like a little bit of an animalic undertone to it. And that does hang around for a fair while. It's not the longest lasting scent you'll ever have, but I'd say I normally get like a good 6 or so hours out of it. So what defines this fragrance? To me, it's the sweet, fruity musk. It's hard to understand like exactly what it is, but it's such like a beautiful musky smell that feels familiar, but I can't pinpoint where it's from. It does carry that slightly animalic undertone to it as well, but to me, I think it's done pretty damn well. I would say this fragrance is actually quite hard to properly define. Now, whether that's an ode to its composition or if it's at its detriment, I think that's probably more so for you to decide. For me, I like a little bit of mystery and intrigue with my fragrances, and Boulder Freak does that for me. But at the same time, it is still extremely wearable. So my general thoughts on Boulder Freak. This is a fragrance I remember trying for the first time. I wanna say like late 2024. I wanna say like around Christmas time. And I remember it stuck with me straight away. There's an element in here that just keeps drawing me in. I remember like spraying it on my hands and I was just kind of like, probably every like minute or so for as long as it stayed there. And I don't know about you, but I like the first time I smell a fragrance, I just find it tends to last like ages. But there's something that just kept drawing me in. And I think it's that animalic undertone to it as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it is using just the tiniest little bit of something like civet, which for those of you that don't know is like an animal musk. Very stinky in high concentrations, but in little tiny little doses can be really, really enchanting and attracting. Like it draws you into the scent. I can't detect it, but it's just kind of that vibe that I get from it. Otherwise, I do get a really nice fruitiness. It's got floral undertones. This fragrance to me is really, really nicely blended to the point where it's kind of got its own unique scent. It's hard to kind of tell what it really is. It's just its own thing. Some people don't like that kind of a fragrance. They would argue that it's not really well developed because you're not exactly mimicking particular scents. For me, I see it as really, really creative. To develop a new fragrance that's got its own distinct scent, you're not trying to recreate something, you're just creating something new. For me, Boulder Freak is that. This fragrance is one I often lean towards in the summer. It's nice, it's fruity, it's clean, it's musky, and to me, it settles pretty beautifully on the skin. Now we go to the cons for this fragrance. Now, I would say it may not necessarily be for everybody, especially when it comes to the dry down. The dry down isn't the strongest scent, and it really does kind of hone in on that fruity muskiness that you get, and it can feel a little unbalanced in the back end of the scent journey. My observation is that it depends largely on the skin chemistry and the weather conditions to kind of get it to be like this. I suspect that this fragrance would probably carry a lot of Isoe Super, not only for the woody undertone, but also for that variability that it can have as well. I do find for that reason the dry down can be a little bit inconsistent to me, but that may not be the experience for everyone. My advice, I never say to blind buy a fragrance, and that absolutely holds true here. I don't think it will be an absolute buy for everyone, but I do think there are a lot of people out there that will really get a lot out of this fragrance. If you are planning to use it as an everyday wear, which you absolutely can do, a 100ml purchase, I would say, is a pretty good option. Otherwise, there is the 50ml like I've got here. Either one, you can generally pick it up for a pretty good price from like a Chemist Warehouse or something like that. I got this 50ml for $170, which I would say is a pretty good price. Normally it retails for around that $300 mark. In my opinion, $170 is a steal for this fragrance, and I think $170 definitely worth it. It is available to test at Mecca, so I would definitely recommend testing before buying and getting a sample if you can. So now we go to the scoring. So for its scent profile, the opening, I have an 8 out of 10, and its dry down, I've gone 6.5 out of 10. For its performance, I've gone 7 out of 10 for its longevity, and I've gone 8 out of 10 for the projection and sillage. In the other categories, I've gone 3 out of 5 for its value for money, and 4 out of 5 for its versatility. That will give us a total score of 36.5 out of 50, which on our rolling leaderboard puts it in 4th place. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Boulder Freak from Byredo. If you tried this fragrance, if you have this fragrance, let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know what you'd like to see next. And as always, I will see you guys next time.